Hold on, Clint. I'm getting a phone call.
Who is it?
Well, it's Indianapolis Colts. Me as your new agent. They're needing you to come in and block for Philip Rivers.
Oh yeah,
That's
dude, I would be the only player in the league older than Philip Rivers.
right.
Oh man, Rivers, Grandpa Rivers,
Yeah, he's a
Grandpa
grandpa.
Philip
Yeah.
Rivers.
44 years old.
By the way, in the time we recorded this, Philip Rivers had three more children.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, man. He's gonna have to restart his Hall of Fame count. 5 more years now. He was up for it this year. And
The thing about Philip Rivers is he signed to the practice squad, which doesn't mean they're going to activate him. But let's just be honest, you don't sign Philip Rivers to the practice squad with intent of keeping him on the practice squad.
yeah.
You just don't.
It's crazy. Well, we can talk more about that, but Clint, you know
But
what
you know,
Philip Rivers needs to do, and you know what he needs to
I
tell
know
all
Philip
of his
Rivers.
children to do?
Yeah, all his 28 kids, all 28 Philip Rivers children, the entire Rivers clan, the grandchildren, his great grandchildren,
They
all of
probably
them.
have iPads. Yeah,
They have iPads, and you know what? They should give this podcast a like, just like you should.
that's right.
And then they should share it with their siblings because they have 26 siblings.
That's right.
Hey, Ray Rivers. Hey, Jebediah Rivers. I
Give them
don't know
just
the kid.
something to talk about at Christmas time,
Yeah.
as they get together.
And then after that, they should subscribe. That way they know when it's coming out again.
That's
That's
right.
what they should do.
That's right.
So,
All right. So, folks, lots of good things to talk about today. How about some music and then we'll get started?
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change is here. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change is here. Changes me. I love changes. Can you hear me now? Church, can you hear me now? Ever seen a broken heart made whole? Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen the weak find the strength? I promise you a change is there. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed?
What's up, everybody? It's time for the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T, joined as always by my man, Big C, Clint Clark, coming at us again from outer space,
out of space. There
from
you
a
go. Out of
land
space.
we have no idea where.
What's crazy is me and you, we just have to face the fact that we're getting old, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But every now and then something, stuff happens that make you feel like especially old.
yeah.
And when we're just talking about Philip Rivers on the other side, and when we're telling you kids, like, share, and subscribe, do it.
That's
What are
right.
you waiting for?
That's right.
What in the world are you waiting for? So we're telling the kids, hey, like, share, subscribe. And we're talking about Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers got kids. Well, he's got kids. I think he's got 10 kids. I was being facetious when I said 27, but I think he's got 10 kids. But he's got like a son that's a
Wow.
highly rated recruit.
Yeah,
That is what makes me feel old, is that these guys I grew up watching playing football now have kids. I mean, it tracks
yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
actually older than Philip Rivers, but that a 44-year-old would have a 16, 17-year-old child that's
Well, speaking of someone's kid that we grew up watching his daddy play, and now he's getting to play, and he happens to be playing for my favorite team. The Browns just gonna Brown, Clint.
um you
Almost
cannot can you
almost
okay, go.
400 yards passing for Shadur, and they take him out on a 2 point conversion.
You know, I'm going to say this. Stefanski obviously just does not want Shadur
He
Sanders to
doesn't.
be
It's
scored.
obvious. Yeah.
I mean, it is obvious. You could not. But somebody in that draft room was like, dude, it's the fifth round pick. Why not?
Yeah.
And Stefanski was like, fun. I mean, I don't know. Did Dion bully him? I don't know what happened, but
I think
obviously,
it's just the owner. I think the owner made the call in or something, said, "Hey, we need to take him." And I don't
yeah,
know because I'm not a big fan of the owner. Uh, but yeah, Stefanski's a two-time Coach of the Year, okay, in the
yeah,
NFL. But I've never, ever since the Baker Mayfield deal, I've not been a fan of him. Okay,
right.
I haven't because I thought he handled Baker wrong. He put Baker in the wrong offense. I mean, one of the things we talk about with Silverfield that we heard at the press conference was that he's going to tailor his offense according to his talent. If he's got big
Yeah.
linemen, he's gonna block a certain way and use them. If he's got little linemen, what vice versa. Stefanski won't do that, and
No,
he had Baker. He's tried to get Deshaun Watson to do that, and I mean Deshaun Watson was a questionable one anyway. And then you put him in the wrong offense, he's really going to be bad. And then this Shadur thing, I mean, it's just pathetic. I mean, the
it
guy
really,
needs. It
yeah,
reminds me of Mike Martz when he lost. When Mike Martz lost Kurt Warner,
yeah.
and he didn't have a quarterback that was like Kurt Warner anymore. He wouldn't change his offense up. He wouldn't adapt when the league started changing. He tried to still do the same thing he was doing when he had Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and all those guys, and it just didn't work. So anyway,
Yeah, but Travis, but we haven't even talked. I mean, I know we're going to get in, like, but we haven't even talked about the biggest football game of the weekend. It was enormous magnitude, playoff spots on the line. There was a literal playoffs berth on the line, and it was none other than your Bunno Browns taking on your boys, D-Generation Fat.
yeah, yeah,
And a game that I think when the prognosticators they laid it out, they showed the matchup. They're like, we're gonna give a slight nod to Degeneration Fat.
yeah,
Slight nod to the Bunno Browns earlier in the year. And Patrick Mahomes, I unfriend you. You did me dirty. You threw three picks. And the rest of the team, you're all cut. Every last one of you. I did get a bye in the consolation bracket, so I got that going for me. But
yeah,
every one of you is
yeah.
cut. So congratulations, my friend. That puts a clean sweep over Degeneration Fat for the mighty Bunno Browns. Um, Travis, who was the Bunno Browns MVP this week?
Well, you know, Lamar Jackson actually had a decent game for me this week. He's been
Yeah,
kind of down. Well, he was my highest scorer. Him and Henry. Uh, Adams had a good game for me.
yeah.
But really, everybody was just consistent. Everybody had about around 10 points.
Well, my entire team was consistently crappy except for Jamar Gibbs.
Even my
Uh,
defense had 8.5 points
Yeah. It
almost.
was funny because I forgot about the draft. I was like, oh crap, the draft. And so I literally I jump on there. And I don't know if I'd have had time to think about it if I took Jamar Gibbs first.
Yeah.
Because I'd been like, he's gonna split carries, blah, blah, blah. And so anyway, um, I log on, I'm like, oh crap, it's my pick. And you know me, I've got what I'm gonna do planned out beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm never going to take more than 10, 15 seconds to make a pick because I'm like, I'll have it down to a 1 and 1A
Yeah.
or 1B, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this guy's going, okay, who's my next guy? So I'm constantly thinking, but I didn't have time. And so
Yeah.
like Jamar, so I'm like, oh crap. So I'm like, okay, he's a good one. I'll take him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for him, it would have been a terrible, terrible season for Degeneration Fat.
Yeah.
But I guess, seventh place, not the worst. Not the worst finish for DFAT,
Yeah,
but
I've been, I really thought that I wanted Lamar Jackson because I thought he was going to have a really good year. I thought Baltimore was my pick to win the Super Bowl because they I thought they added some pieces on offense to help Lamar out a little bit,
yeah,
and that didn't turn out to be true. And I thought Derrick Henry was. I thought this was going to be. He's getting close to the end of his being dominant. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like and I thought he had one more good year in him. So, and I thought he would. I thought that would motivate him to really win this year. And they had just
See,
hadn't
and
done
you
it here.
think way more about this than I do.
Yeah,
You really do. Like,
yeah. I
I'm like, all
analyze it.
right, what position do I need around what pick?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And I really thought I'd be set at quarterback with Mahomes. Now, I'm going to tell you, but also we don't usually talk a lot NFL, but it's a slow sports week, kids, so just live with it.
Yeah.
So we got stuff to talk about. But another incredible feat happened in the NFL this week. One that I don't know if I've ever seen. Not only were there three turnovers on one play, there were two turnovers by one player on one play. I haven't seen it, but apparently Jalen Hurts throws a pick. They force the fumble. Jalen Hurts gets the ball and then fumbles the ball again.
I didn't see that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I just read about it. I haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, two turnovers on one play.
Wow.
Could you imagine somebody, dude? I don't know. I mean, all these like these prop bet
Oh
apps.
yeah.
You imagine someone said, "Okay, I've two turnovers in one play
By one person. Yeah.
by one person." I
No one
mean,
had that. Yeah.
listen, I don't condone betting on those things, but also if you want to sponsor us, I totally condone it. So,
Yeah, that's wild. But well, Clint, back to Razorback stuff. Silverfield's we've we did our there hadn't been a whole lot happen since our
yeah,
podcast because we did it last Thursday after the big press conference. We have seen some of the different coaches he's brought in. Rob Roberts from Florida.
recently Florida, Sam Pittman had tried to hire him, and then he went to Auburn.
Now, I was listening to a podcast, and one of I mean, the biggest thing about him, if you look at his resume, the Florida thing doesn't look good, but nobody looked good at Florida the last couple of years, right? But the fact that he did what he did at Baylor, okay,
Yeah,
looks good for him because that was a tough offense to be a defender in. I mean, look at when Arkansas had Kendall Briles, who ran a similar type of offense. Okay, you know, it was tough to be a defensive coordinator under Kendall Briles because there was a lot of it's fast paced. It was your defense ends up getting a lot more
right.
snaps,
Yeah, yeah.
and so the fact that he had such good numbers then, he's got good turnovers, things like that. Now, the only negative I've heard about him, besides people, there's been a lot of fans like they wanted a big name. Unless we got like Kirby Smart or Nick Saban to run the defense, they wasn't going to be happy. However, the real negative I've heard, and I heard this on another podcast, was the guys were talking about that the rumors are that he's kind of hard to work with sometimes. And that's one of the reasons he's bounced from school to school a lot is
Yeah.
but they were talking about a lot of times defensive coordinators are the type of guys that are hard to work with
Well,
sometimes.
it's funny you say that because I remember, the Razorbacks were coming through Breckenridge back when I was the manager there,
Yeah.
and I gave you the scoop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And tell me about Reggie Herring, Travis.
He sat by himself.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that like
Yeah.
Reggie Herring sat by himself, and he was
Sat
just
on
kind of
not the front row, but like in the theater, there was like three rows at the front and then there's like the walkway. And he sat on one of those handicap seats or whatever on that
right.
walkway, like right there on the front row of that second section. And he just sat by himself and like no one interacted with him whatsoever.
Yeah. No, I just remember
By the
that. So
way,
yeah,
that night, I was thinking about this. One of the guys I got to talk to that night, who actually got to play in the game the next day, Alex Mortensen,
yeah.
just got the head coaching job at
The
UAB.
permanent coaching job at UAB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Congratulations, former Razorback, and everybody knew he was going to be a coach one day.
yeah,
So hopefully he does good. That I mean, obviously the group of five-ish
Yeah.
That's a tough gig. I mean, you're pretty much a developmental league down
Especially at
there.
UAB because they almost got rid of football a few years ago. And
Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but kudos to him. I mean, really, seriously.
But then,
But
of course, we find out also Mateos is not coming back. A lot of
yeah,
people
and
were
with
hoping.
him, with Mateo's coming, we know the portal's coming. We know we're going to lose some players. I mean, obviously you heard some good ones. So, but the first one dropped today off his lineman that you're like, oh, not him. Shaq McCoy,
Yeah,
he's gone. Said he's like, look, I came here to play for Sam Pittman,
yeah,
and uh, and that's why he's leaving. So.
yeah,
Hey, hate to lose Shaq because I think that would have been a big good one for us next year, but you also get
yeah,
it.
yeah. There's other guys that I think are more important than we keep though. Shaq has a lot of promise, and he was good. He's a physical specimen, but um, he was a little weak in the pass blocking game, and so his footwork wasn't all there. So you
Yeah.
know, there's
You know,
some other
I,
guys. I think keeping Harris and some of those other guys are a lot, and some of those young guys, Cash
yeah.
Courtney and all those guys is a little more important. Someone else, we got he's bringing his strength and conditioning coach over, uh, and hear good things about him. He's
Well,
a
I'm going
guy
to
he
tell you,
trusts.
they had no problem handling the heat in Memphis.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Um, and then also he's bringing in two offensive line coaches.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's just two guys he wanted on staff. I think that's what it was. I think he had a chance to get the one guy, and then the one guy is coming with him from Memphis. Who's
Yeah, and
his
then the guy
running
from
game coordinator. And
guy from Ohio State. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is you look at it, they always have an assistant offensive line coach that they really
yeah,
don't list on staff. So I don't think it's going to be that. I mean, I mean, Silverfield, he was an assistant offensive line coach in the NFL for the Lions, I believe.
well, and
Um,
some teams will have two offensive line coach, and some will do interior, and some will do exterior.
yeah,
Because you got to think about it. I mean, that's at least going to be 15, possibly more if they boost. They're probably going to boost the scholarship limit back up to 105
yeah.
from 85. So,
So
if that's the case, they may end up with up to close to 20 offensive linemen.
so
So you almost need two coaches.
I've witnessed before at Arkansas Tech University a defensive coordinator being difficult to work with, and the offensive line coach getting really mad.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were doing pass pro one time, and UAM had this offense where the quarterback would just run for his life and throw
yeah,
the ball. Like they didn't have any running backs; they just five wide. He'd run around and just, man.
yeah,
And so we're doing pass pro, and Hoser had a guy down there doing the quarterback, running around, and we usually go for a stationary object.
yeah.
And Mullins goes, "If you ever just try to screw up my drill again, let me know." Anyway, I thought
Yeah,
that story had it, but I just remember that
yeah,
he's like, don't ever screw up my drill again.
yeah. Well, and the other big one that I've heard talk a lot of good things about is the running back coach from Florida State.
Heard a lot of good things. A
The
lot.
biggest thing I hear about him isn't necessarily his coaching prowess, it's his recruiting prowess.
Yeah.
And one of the things is there's a 5-star that was at Texas, a running back that's entered the transfer portal that has been hurt. So he hadn't played yet in college, but he was a big time recruit coming out of high school. And apparently, I think this guy has a good relationship with him already. And so they're hoping that Arkansas has a chance to maybe go after him. Of course, he's unproven he's had some pretty, if I remember right, what I read, he had some pretty serious leg injuries. So a guy like that, you don't know what you're going to get. But anyway, Silverfield's, I mean, putting together what looks like, the biggest thing, some of the thing I've been hearing is some of the fans are upset because these aren't the big names. Because he said he's going to put together the greatest staff. Well, I think they misunderstood that a little bit. Your staff isn't always going to be your biggest name guys. It's going to be guys that are going to work well in your system, in your culture, and what you're trying to
Yeah.
do as a head coach, right?
Well, there's such a thing as fit.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes it's not that great of a fit.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to see the staff coming together. So I'm happy to see how that's coming together
Yeah.
because hopefully we can get to where we ultimately want to go.
Yeah.
And you think still football with there, and where you want to gets the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and that was the other bunch of football this weekend was the had all the conference championship games. Now, Travis, I told you, me and you were going back and forth. Of course, you're get off my lawn. You're like, we
Yeah.
need to go back to the BCS. One needs to be play too. And part of the problem is postseason in college football is broken.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It is broken. The postseason in college football is broken.
Yeah.
Um, and I was watching a bit with Rich Eisen where he's talking about, he's like he had some ideas on how to fix it. I was watching that before I jumped on here with you. But I think it's time to just do away with the conference championship game.
Yeah.
It just is. Um, because here's the thing, you got teams that are like Notre Dame, and I get it.
By the way, let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, sure,
That's my second favorite team.
I understand.
And I'm hugely disappointed in them. I mean, but I mean, I get the fact that okay, the bowls don't matter as much anymore, but I mean, that's practices for your guys that are returning. You know what I mean? I mean, that's at least what, I mean, that's what Sam Pittman talked about last year with the Liberty Bowl. Um, and I don't know, man. I just, but Auburn's doing the same thing. Alex Golesh, they turned down a chance for a
Well,
bowl game.
that's it's different because the entire
Yeah.
you're gonna have different coach, you're gonna have different
Yeah.
coordinators. That's different. No, Notre Dame is pretty much. Listen, we didn't get the playoffs, and so we're not gonna play football.
Yeah.
So don't even ask. But now, and I've seen a lot of people say, well, this is what you get when you don't play in a conference.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. So typically in an SEC schedule, right?
Yeah.
A conference plays 9 games. So you'll play 9 Power 4 teams, right?
Yeah.
So Notre
Yeah.
Dame played Miami and Florida. That's one. Texas A&M 2. Purdue 3. Arkansas
Lost
4.
those two first two
Now they
games.
lost. They lost the 2 big ones. Look, Miami gets in over to Notre Dame. They won head to head. Period. Done.
Yeah.
But then NC State, USC, Boston College, Pitt, Syracuse, and they closed it out with Stanford. They played. They played their fair share of Power 5 games.
Yeah.
The problem is you're going to keep it at 12. It needs to be the best 12 teams.
Yeah.
Period. No, there's going to be debate. I think they just need to make it 16. Do away with the conference championship games. Do away with automatic bids because what's going to happen is they're going to put somebody from the SEC in that room,
Yeah.
and the SEC is going to get 6 teams in.
Yeah.
The Big 12 is going to get 6 teams in, and the ACC and Big 12 you're going to get the scraps.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen, and that's what should happen
Yeah.
because
No, I agree. I think you're exactly right. I think the immediate fix, the way you can fix it next year, is do exactly what you just said. Go to 16 teams. Forget the automatic bids. Look, I'm happy for James Madison. Way to go, fellas.
you're not going to
Way to go. This isn't the basketball tournament. Okay. You're not going to have a couple guards get hot and all of a sudden win you know, 3 rounds in the tournament. It's not going to happen.
Oh, and by the way, your head coach is mostly working for another team.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
preparing for it's not like he's all in and he's preparing for a game that he thinks he can win.
Yeah.
No, he's a half butt working for you, trying to build UCLA. Same thing with Tulane.
Yeah.
That coach, And was in like who ordered the Tulane versus Ole Miss rematch? Nobody.
Nobody. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
Um, it's unfair to those kids. I mean, because you're basically hey, congratulations. Yeah, you're everyone. You're dealing with an entire college football fandom, the entire saying you don't belong.
Yeah.
We understand that these are the rules that you got, and bravo to the ACC for screwing this up.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like they wrote the rule.
Yeah.
So basically, the Big 12 champ, the ACC champ, the SEC champ, and the Big 10 champ, which has 58 teams. So they had those where y'all get the automatic bids. We're gonna ride it like this.
Yeah.
But you can't have 7-5 Duke winning the conference championship.
Yeah.
I mean that's the problem. So two things, Travis. Number one, if you want to shut all this up, if you want to, because what's going to happen next year is they're going to get around and say, okay, 12 best teams, period.
Yeah.
They're probably still going to play the conference championship games. Um, if that happens, then BYU is in, and uh, and then Notre Dame,
And
and
Vandy.
then well, Vandy and Texas. I mean, Vandy and Texas if they go to 16, but
Yeah.
they just go to 12, then yeah, those just those two. Because I think BYU or did Vandy jump BYU? I can't remember.
I can't remember yet.
I don't think they did, um, but James Madison or Tulane, one's going to have to win. You
Yeah.
definitely both of them can't definitely get blown out.
No.
You're going to need to get.
No, you're right.
I mean that's you're going to have to win to shut us up.
Yeah.
And there's one person to blame for this entire mess. One person,
Hunter, your chick.
Chad Morris,
Oh yeah.
because his
Might as well.
son is the quarterback for Virginia that lost to Duke.
That's right. That's
This
right.
entire mess could have been avoided. But Chad,
That's right.
you're still screwing stuff up.
You did it to us again, Chad.
Chandler Morris,
Left
18th year
lane,
senior.
hammer down.
Way to go. You screwed up all of college football, Chad Morris.
That's right.
Screwed it all up.
Oh well.
So
No,
what do
it's
you think?
it's craziness, man. So who do you think now, we're seeing something crazy in college football right now, Clint. And we're seeing two teams that are two of the favorites in the playoffs that have seemingly come from nowhere. You have Texas Tech and you have Indiana.
Mhm.
Now, the difference in those two is they've done it differently, Clint,
Right.
because Texas Tech has just said, look, we're spending money. And in fact, they've said, this is how much we're spending. Like I've seen their boosters on podcasts talking about, yeah, we just looked at it and said, we got to start putting money into this so we can win. And so that's what they did. And they went out and bought the best team money could buy. And they're showing what you could do if you just had a bunch of boosters decide to really put money behind a team and you had a good coach that put the money into the right things. Now, that's a big thing about this,
Yeah.
right? Because, like in the NFL, they got money, but, Dallas Cowboys have a ton of money, but they don't always put the money into the right things. So, to give Texas Tech some credit, they're not just pumping money
Right.
into it, they're pumping money into the right places, right? And we can see that with Ole Miss last year. Ole Miss last year, had pumped a bunch of money into their roster, and it wasn't the right roster.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then Indiana, Clint, and I'm still like, if I'm Hunter Yurachek, I'm going and I'm trying to befriend the people in Indiana. I'm telling Silverfield to get up and start texting, become texting buddies, to slide into Signetti's DMs, whatever he's got to do, become best friends with him and find out exactly the
By the
magic
way,
that's going on there.
everyone in college football, you could have had Signetti.
Yeah.
Every one of you could have had him.
Yeah.
We could have had him.
Yeah.
Virginia,
Yeah.
you could have had him. Literally anyone could have had him.
Well, and similar with the Texas Tech coach.
Yeah.
I mean, they wasn't like they were they wasn't the bells at the ball, man.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna look. I respect what I understand what Texas Tech coach did. I don't know your name. It's not impressive. It's not nearly as impressive what Signetti done.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, I mean, and to do it where he's done it, which if you'd have said 2 years ago, who's the worst Power Five football team in history, everybody went Indiana.
I mean, they'd be up there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they'd be up there, and but we're living in a world where Indiana and Vanderbilt are good at football,
Yeah.
and probably will be for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
days of Indiana of Vanderbilt sucking in the SEC is done.
Oh, yeah.
You can thank NIL for that,
Yep.
and their sweet baby boy Diego.
That's right. Yeah. I love those.
Yeah,
Matt Miller.
yeah,
What's his
Matt
name? Matt.
Miller. He's like,
Yeah.
our sweet baby boy Diego.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny, man. But yeah, I mean, Signetti is just doing it, and he's doing it the right way somehow. He's getting the right pieces. He's building the right culture, and they can't be doing it with all the money that all the other. I mean, they're doing it with less money. It seems like. I mean, they'd have to be. I mean, where are they getting all the money from? I mean, it's just they're doing it the right way, and he's getting people in there. Of course, he was smart. He brought guys he had already trained from James Madison, like 13, wasn't it 13 guys he brought with him from James Madison last year. So we had a core group, and he brought a lot of his coaches with him. He didn't go out and hire the biggest name guys. Okay. He brought a core group with him of guys he trusted, guys he knew. And man, and look, he's not flashy dude at all. I mean, have you heard him interviewed?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he's an older guy. He's not young and energetic necessarily. He just, he's not necessarily a guy you're like, man, I want to go hang out with him for a long time. I mean, he's just a coach, but man, he's just impressive, man.
No, no, he really no. What he's done is impressive, and what Texas Tech's done is impressive too.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, if you
Oh,
just
it is.
you spend it frivolously, is that? But so yeah, I'm
And that's what Arkansas has to do right now, right? I mean, and that's what you hope Silverfield's going to do. All these coaches he's bringing in, you hope he's bringing in the right guys. As he goes into the transfer portal, you hope he brings in the right guys there. Okay. His type of guys, the guys that'll get into the process, that'll be all in. That's his little key phrase, right? I'm sure there'll be t-shirts made pretty soon with that on it.
yeah.
But he's
By the
got,
way, if anybody, I have a slightly used turn on that dadgum jukebox shirt. Bring
that's
that up for
right.
you, Reverend. I've got
Yeah,
it slightly used. It's 4X. If anyone wants to DM me, I'll sell
yeah,
it to you on the
that's right.
sheet. So yeah,
But yeah, but that's what you're hoping Silverfield's going to try to do. And to me, that's really what it sounds like he did at Memphis, Clint, really. What was what he was doing there. When you hear people that played for him, you hear people that coached with him, you hear people that were close to that um, program there. That's the type of guy he was. That he was trying to build a system. He has people around him that he trusts. He's very loyal to him. They say you know, I mean, we've already seen him at the basketball game. He's a fiery guy. Got that. You know, and they say that he's just like that all the time. He's real positive. So, um, I'm I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out on the field for sure.
yeah. Now transitioning to basketball.
Yeah,
We played in Little Rock this week.
yeah,
Well, I tell you what I really think they should do for us, Travis, is I think it's time to end the Little Rock football games. I know no one wants to hear that. But I tell you what, they're giving you a baseball game in Little Rock.
yeah,
What if they gave us two basketball games?
yeah,
Like, hey, give us two basketball, give us that, give us a conference game.
yeah.
Give us like Mizzou in Little Rock.
One thing that's nice about it is Cal. One thing I've been impressed with him is that he's embracing all that, right? Like you heard, like he hit three big social events while they were in Little Rock. Like he was at the governor's mansion, he went to a fundraiser for something, and then another fundraiser for something else. Like he was making the rounds, like, getting publicity out there, stuff like that. And he embraced, he said, look, this is our capital city. We need to be playing here. And I just love that. He's not whining about it. He's
Well,
not,
and I don't think you should. You're talking about, instead of giving up what about 18% of your schedule, your home schedule, playing it
yeah,
away from home. You're talking about, basketball game and especially with Coach Cal. I mean, like this Saturday we're playing Houston.
yeah,
And which you've got a team from Texas, a team from Arkansas. Where should we have the game? New Jersey. Um,
yeah. That's crazy.
because I started looking at it, I was like, man, if they're playing at Houston, I could probably go. It's just a couple hours down the street. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
fun to go
yeah,
go to a road basketball game like that just to do it. And then I'm like, they're playing in freaking New Jersey.
yeah,
They're playing, by the way. So me and you talk about this too. Just quick segue, real quick, once on my mind, and then we'll come back to basketball. But what I like about living where I'm living, I'm so close to three major cities, so close to
yeah,
Houston, San Antonio, and Austin.
yeah.
Sorry. I was having a
That's your
senior moment there.
son's name.
Yeah, which is also my kid's name. So he wouldn't come on the podcast. There's like, no, I ain't standing over
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So so I'm like, the World Cup's coming. Like, I give two craps about soccer.
yeah,
I'm like, it'd be fun to just go be in that environment,
yeah.
just to feel that energy. And I'm like, all right, let's see how much tickets are. And I'm looking like it, Uzbekistan versus Uruguay. Like literally, I don't even know how to pronounce the country's name.
Yeah.
So I'm like, surely tickets are cheap. I could be in the nosebleeds for like $800. I'm like, I don't want to feel the environment that much.
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like it's a World Cup, boy. Tickets are
yeah,
expensive. So yeah.
yeah.
So playing you just played.
Well,
Was it Fresno State, which is the best in the entire state of Fresno?
that's right. Yeah.
And
Yeah, man. It was a good game. The team continues to get better. Um, those freshmen, Acuff continues to improve. He toward the end of the game when they were kind of making a little comeback, we saw it last week in both games, the Louisville game and that game. He's playing within the offense better, not trying to hero ball as much, like he was doing, like he did some against Michigan State and Duke. Um, you know,
and that's got to be so hard. Me and you don't know the burden of having that much talent.
oh yeah, yeah,
But high school coaches, AAU coaches, their plan was to give Acuff the ball and go win the game.
oh yeah.
And
Well, and that's
but
what he's been doing since he was a little kid.
yeah,
I mean, and that's the thing, and that's you got a team full of guys that were used to that though.
yeah, yeah,
That's the other thing. They were all doing that, when they were coming up. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get all of that to play together as one and realize, hey, this guy can make a shot too. This guy can be clutch too. And that's why this tough schedule that Cal has put together, uh, that's testing them right now, and they're learning so much, man. And it's gonna just, I mean, it's the fire that's gonna refine them for later. It's gonna be what's gonna make them better when it comes down to tournament time and into conference time as they face the gauntlet of what the SEC is going to be.
yeah.
They're going to be ready for everything they're going to face.
And what's so good about this is every one of these challenges, they're giving them adversity,
Yeah,
and they're winning some, and they're losing some.
yeah,
But the thing is that when you go through that adversity, just as being you've learned as we got older, we've made a couple mistakes here and there.
yeah,
You learn when you're in that situation. Next time, you learn from them.
yeah,
That's what these kids are doing. They're gonna be battle tested come March.
yeah.
They're gonna
Well,
be
and with the new way things are right now, Clint, that's what you have to do. I mean, imagine like when Arkansas won the national championship, you had pretty much the two 7-footers. And was there any other freshmen on that team? I mean, that was pretty much it.
yeah.
Everybody else was returning, right? So all you're
Yeah,
doing
Willis
is,
was a sophomore.
Huh?
Corliss and Scotty are both
They
sophomores.
were juniors when they won the championship.
No, they were
No,
sophomores.
sophomore. Sorry, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Will you,
So,
hey,
so
will you say that one more time?
you're right. And then
Thank you.
Dwight Stewart, and Corey Beck were seniors. Yeah,
Yeah, they were juniors.
juniors. Yeah, because they came back the next year for.
Tell me I'm right again.
You're right.
That's,
Anyway,
that's all I got after fantasy football, Travis,
yeah.
was his useless sport.
But but anyway, you got back then you're just adding one or two people, two to four people at the most to a roster every year, right? You got
Yeah,
these freshmen coming in. You didn't have you might have one transfer back then. A transfer was rare back then, or
right.
maybe like a junior college kid, like when Jesse Payton, Sunday Adebayo came in or something like that. But you're adding in young guys and you're just working them in. And so you would play these cupcake preseason games because all you're doing is trying to get them to play together then, because most of your team's already battle tested because they played together last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now we got a lot of returning guys this year, and we still are starting a lot of, how many new guys we starting? Three?
Well, yeah. Well, you
Two or
lost a lot
three?
of your size. You lost the size in the middle.
Yeah.
That's where you
But
because you
you're starting Brazil, Knox, and Wagner
right.
are your returning guys, and everybody else is new to this team,
Yeah.
right? So, and then you're working in, you got Billy Richmond comes in and some others. But what I'm saying is it's so smart to give them these tough games, and you're not gonna the days of a team going winning 30 games in a season, going 30-3 or whatever, is not gonna happen as much. I mean, it's rarely gonna happen because you're gonna take some hits. For one thing, the SEC's gotten so much better. We got better
Yeah, yeah,
coaches in the SEC,
yeah. Well, because
and
it
the
used to
team's
be
gotten better.
you'd say that the best. I mean, is Arkansas and Kentucky were the two basketball schools,
Yeah,
and now I mean Florida's won three national championships. Now you can't say Florida's not a basketball school. You look
yeah,
at what Bruce Pearl's built in Auburn. What Nate Oates has done at
Alabama.
Alabama is
You got Chris Beard, Ole Miss. I mean, you
Chris
got
Beard at Ole Miss.
Buzz Williams at A&M. I mean, you
Well,
got
no, Buzz left. They got somebody else at
oh,
A&M.
okay.
A&M's a dumpster fire, bro. They're
No,
gonna be the worst team in the SEC.
no.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you got some good things happening at these other SEC schools, whereas even 5 years ago, SEC was very top heavy. So you got it's a that playing this tough schedule. They're going to take some bumps and bruises. They're going to lose some more games. They're going to lose some SEC games. But man, we got to keep Billy Richmond's head on straight. Not
He
just
went to
him, some of
Maryland.
the
He
other
went to
guys.
Maryland, by the way.
Oh,
I was
did he?
looking
Okay.
there.
Okay. But we gotta keep them from making dumb mistakes, but getting technicals and stuff like that and getting kicked out of games. But other than that, this team, man, has got a upside that's I can't
Very,
wait to
very,
see.
very talented, very, very talented ball team.
Yeah.
I mean, that I think they have the capability of putting five stars on the court
Yeah.
at one time. I know at least four. I think probably
Yeah.
five. But,
And
so
one of their a four-star that's coming in next year. I don't know if you heard about this, but just kind of want to throw this out there. JJ Andrews got hurt in a game the other day. Apparently,
got a pretty nasty concussion, I heard.
yeah, got hit pretty hard. Was out of it. I know his dad was scared. They took him to the ambulance to the hospital, but thankfully he's okay. Everything's good. So that's good. He does have a fracture in his wrist, a shooting wrist, so he's probably going to be out for I think 4 weeks, something like that. But good to hear. Good to hear he's doing well, though. I know his dad was friends with his dad on Facebook, and Sean Andrews was, you could tell, was pretty upset by what he was posting, which you're going to be if you see your son laying lifeless on the court and they got to
Yeah.
take him out in a stretcher. That's not a good thing. So anyway, but good to hear that. And Cal mentioned Cal mentioned that in the press conference. Talked about how he was glad to hear he was doing well and things like that. He had checked on him and had talked to Sean and everything the other day, so that was cool. But yeah, man, this team, Clint, I'm ready to see it, dude. I'm excited about basketball.
I really, yeah, yeah. So we're getting closer and closer as it gets closer to the beginning of the year. Conference plays coming up.
Yeah,
Um, so we got big. It's still odd to me that we're playing this game in New Jersey.
yeah, that
Like I
is
get
too.
it if we're playing it in Dallas,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But he's like, no,
Oh
playing
well,
it in New Jersey. Yeah,
might
oh
as
well,
well. Hey,
yeah,
what's
why
the
not?
there'll be some hog calls happening up there.
Oh, 100%.
I once went to New Jersey for a Razorback game,
I
football,
did not.
and we
That's another
lost.
story.
Yeah, that's another story. We lost that one though. But
AJ
anyway,
Derby,
yeah,
quarterback
AJ.
the Razorbacks that
I
game.
was I was on the front row, right in front of where he scored a touchdown there. But anyway, yeah, that was wild. But anyway, yeah, Clint, and so the Hogs play Houston not till Saturday though, right? So they don't have a
Now
midweek
Saturday at
game.
11 a.m. I believe on ESPN
Yeah.
two.
They don't have a midweek game this week, so they'll give them a chance to do some practice, maybe rest a little bit before they uh, grind it out a little more after that. So that should be fun. But well, Clint, what else we need to talk about, man? We've kind of hit a lot of it. High school sports. Oh, I did want to mention this. So watching the high school finals on PBS the other day. And at halftime, they showed a documentary they did on the Village Academy Beavers
Right, yeah.
with Gary Crowder, who we had on the podcast years ago. Look, folks, if you don't know the story about Village Academy, you need to look it up. You need to check out that documentary. It's shorter. If you want to hear some more stories and better stories, go back in our history on YouTube and look up the podcast we did on it with Gary Crowder, one of the
No,
coaches.
because 100%. There's sometimes when you host a podcast with your best friend, they'll suggest to have guests on,
Mm,
and you'll roll your eyes and you'll do it because you love your best friend.
yeah,
I've done it to Travis. Travis has done it to me.
yeah.
He's never told me about it, but I know he has. So, but the Village Academy episode was one of those. I was like, this is stupid. And by the end of it, I was like, how they find out? How do they find out? I'm friends with Greg Crowder on Facebook, dude. It's one of my favorite episodes. It really is.
Well, and it's such a great story. If you don't know what it was, just a quick synopsis, okay? This coach and a band director, their job was to call in the scores for the games after the games for Jessieville High. And they got frustrated because when they would call in, it was like these college students and, first year workers at the paper. They'd be like, Jacksonville? No, we're Jessieville. What y'all's mascot? They wouldn't know the mascots, nothing. And so, just as a joke, one day they were like, hey, we could tell them anything. Like, we could make up a school and they wouldn't know it. And so they started thinking about it. They're like, well, maybe we could do that. But if we did it, it needs to be from a small town kind of thing. And then they were like, we can't let them play. If we make up a school, we don't need them to play local teams. They need to play out of state teams. So we need to find one that's on the border. Well, Coach Crowder had coached around Taylor, Arkansas, there was a little community there. It's down by Magnolia called Village, which is close to the Louisiana line. So what they did was every week they would call in a fake score for Village Academy playing some Louisiana team. And they made it to where they lost some games, they won some games, and their best player there was Jess Norman, and it was one of their principals that it was Norm Jefferson, and they just switched the name up a little bit and named him Jess Norman. And they did this for 4 years, folks. For 4 years, they kept the joke going. And he tells us great stories about they kept it going like at track meets, because Crowder did the PA for the track meets and
Right.
he would announce it. When I did the radio for Bearden, for at halftime we would do scores, and I would do a Village Academy score every game. And my co-host was like my guy that was doing it with me was like at first he's like Village Academy, who's that? And I told him the story, and he's like, oh, so he got excited about it after that. And then every week I had to call in to Rex Nelson's show to give the synopsis of our game. And every time, and then a couple of times when I called in, I'd say, how did Village Academy do tonight, Rex? and or I'd say, I hear Jess Norman's grandson's doing a great job down at Village Academy this year, or something like that. Anyway,
So if obviously, I'm spoiler alert here, is someone snitched?
yeah,
I know who it was, but I want y'all to listen to the episode and do it. But how long do you think they could have got away with it before?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think he there. The thing was, they didn't necessarily hide it. They just hid it from the papers. Like they had people like they had buddies that were coaches and administrators at other schools and stuff calling them saying, "Hey, put me in the rundown this week." So like, you
Yeah.
know, if you were friends with them, they'd be like, "Well, Clint Clark scored a touchdown for Bossier Parish this weekend," you know, and stuff like that. They would just put people they knew's name, just kind of a
Right, yeah,
nod to them. So people all over the state knew they were doing it, and so people were getting the paper and like when they got found out, they had a get together at Rod's Pizza Cellar, and they were like, okay, we're gonna do like a banquet, you know, and just see if anybody shows up, you know, just for funsies. We'll just all get together at Rod's Pizza Cellar. They had over 100 people show up at Rod's that night. And this is before the internet. They didn't put it on Facebook or nothing. They
right,
just
yeah.
like it was all word of mouth. They're like, "Hey, we're not doing it anymore. We got caught, so we're gonna just, you know, it was all in fun." And so anyway, it's a great story. So if you get a chance,
It really, yeah, yeah. Watch the documentary, or definitely go
we'll put
back.
I'll go back and find the episode and link it on the uh in the comments or something so you can go back and because the PBS did a great job with it, and you get to hear from the band director guy also, and he tells a lot of neat stuff. But Coach Crowder told us a lot of other stories, like the fact that Jess Norman got a letter from USC, a recruiting letter. He wasn't even a real guy, but USC had read some of the paper clippings, so he sent a letter to him.
You know what? That reminds me of a story. You remember my senior year, um, Notre Dame, I'm not Notre Dame, Dover, two prestigious institutions.
Yeah,
Dover had beat us and kept us out of the playoffs.
yeah.
And so Dover went. And so OBU sent you a clipping because Dover also had a player named Travis Johnson.
No, it
And
was it
as he
was
was celebrating,
I don't think it was OBU. It was somebody. It was Tech, I think.
was it? Yeah. Anyway,
And that, which I thought was funny because they're right down the street from Dover.
okay.
But they sent me like a card, and it had Travis Johnson celebrating, and he's like half my size. He was a D back or something. I'm like, yeah, way to go. I
Uh,
crushed it.
it was more painful for me than it was you, but anyway.
Yeah. It was so funny, man. Oh, it was funny. But yeah. Well, Clint, what you watching?
Well, I just finished the season 3 of Tulsa King. Just started,
It's good,
I
wasn't
got a
it?
few episodes out of Landman now, so I'm watching that.
Dude, the acting and writing in Landman is so stinking good, man.
Yeah, Billy Bob's great in it. He really is. And the other thing, I've been addicted to that show, The Floor with Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I hadn't
Just
watched that.
quick, you know, been watching that. It's the game, and then also 99 to win it. Been watching that.
Yeah,
I'm a teenage girl at heart. Just finished the challenge.
yeah,
Uh,
finished that.
just finished that. I always watch the challenge.
Yeah,
Um,
Jeremy, that dude's a beast.
Jeremy,
He's a
dude,
beast.
I thought, you know, Olivia got really, really lucky that she got
Yeah,
partner
yeah. Because
swap because
I thought the other one. What's the other one? The Turkish guy.
Turbo.
Turbo, yeah. I thought they would end up winning it, but
Yeah.
the girl he had, man, she was a beast.
Yeah.
She was a beast. Turbo held them back, but well,
Well, Turbo also stood
and
on the
I'm
log all
excited.
night. Yeah.
I'm
So,
excited because the show that makes you wait way too long for the next season, and I'm rewatching season 4 now so that I can watch season 5 of Stranger Things.
okay. See, I just got out of it. And I mean, I just,
Well, I was, when it came out, I was a youth pastor and all my kids were watching it and they were talking about it. And so I was like,
right. Yeah.
and then some of their parents started telling me about it and they were like, man, it's really a fun show because it's got all these 80s references that, I mean, like, they're at arcane out at arcades and, all this different stuff, because it's all set in the 80s. So, it's real nostalgic and cool. So, like I got into it, man, and I got deep into it. I love it. It's a good show.
See, I get a little grumpy old man sometimes, Travis. And one of the things that, and every now and then there's a show that I'm like, it started off really good. And then I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And then it took a couple more years and everybody else realizes this show's stupid. And I was like that. I quit watching The Walking Dead long before quitting watching The Walking
Yeah.
Dead was like just a bunch of us wandering around going, "Ooh, a zombie."
Yeah,
Um,
I never got into Walking Dead, but I'm not a big zombie guy.
yeah.
I don't for some reason zombie movies like I Am Legend was pretty good to me. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't bad. Um, but mainly because the zombies wasn't in it the whole time. Now
See,
Zombieland, and those are funny. I
okay,
mean,
no,
those
that's
crack
good.
me up. That's good.
So and also, there's every now and then there's something like everybody else into it, and they can't believe you're not into
Yeah.
it. Because like I would not watch an Indiana Jones movie if you had put a gun to my head.
Yeah.
I'd tell you to pull the trigger. I just would.
Now,
I have no desire to
even the
watch.
Temple of Doom though.
No, none of them. None of them.
Really?
When I was at the movie theater, they built like they were doing like a flashback screening of one of the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're not gonna stay and watch it?" I'm like, no. And they go, like, and everybody's like, "Is he really not gonna watch it?" I'm like, "No, I'm not really not watching it. I have no desire to see this movie."
Dude, when I was in elementary school, they took we took a field trip to go watch Indiana Jones during the day. Temple of
What
Doom.
an awful thing to do to a child.
Because because it connected with history or something is why they
Okay, by
did
the
it.
way, no, if we could have got out of school to go watch Indiana Jones,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
all
yeah,
for it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
That's
all
right.
for it. I'm all for it.
Well, and you know what, Clint, I don't know if I told you if I talked about it, but actually on Thanksgiving, did I talk about what I did on Thanksgiving with
I think so, but I've
but we
slept.
went to like our family didn't cook or anything, so we went and had Chinese food and we went and watched a movie that morning. And that morning at 8:50. Okay. But my
Yeah.
mom wanted to go to the movie theater. My mom loves to go to anything like that, right? And my uncle went with us and she's like, well, we got to pick something with action for him, right? We went and watched the new Predator.
Yeah. Fine flick.
Okay. I watched the first Predator in theaters and I watched it several times.
Schwarzenegger and
Enjoyed it. Yeah. Loved it.
Ventura. Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I watched the second one on VCR tape or rented it or whatever when it came out. But I haven't watched The Predator since then. Okay.
Right. Yes.
I
It's
haven't
been a
watched
minute.
one since. And so,
Yeah. Do you
I
feel
mean,
like you needed to see all those between?
I didn't have to. No, I really
No,
didn't.
good. I didn't think I didn't figure you would.
No. And I mainly went just to be with my mom and my uncle, be honest with you. I mean, like
Right. Yeah.
I would never go like I hardly ever go to the movies anymore anyway, and I definitely wouldn't go for that. Okay. I mean like that I would not have put my money toward that movie.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we did talk about this. We talked about us going to see Dracula Dead and Loving and moving around the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was with my mom though that day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was on my way to the movie theater when I Marco Polo'd you. But anyway, but dude, it was actually a good movie.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if
It all
my
blends together, Travis.
expectations were so low. Maybe I think my expectations were so low that I thought this is going to be terrible,
Right.
and it was actually worth watching. It was actually good. So,
Okay.
but it was weird rooting for the Predator.
Right. Yeah.
That was a little different because I'm used to him
Yeah.
being a bad guy. But anyway, Well, Clint, folks, Razorback fever, baby, basketball, hog balling. Here we go.
Playoffs. Hey, tell us what
Playoffs.
you think about my thoughts on the playoff. Is it time to get rid of the conference championship games?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think most people would agree with you there, but we'll see what they
Everybody
think.
agrees with me because I'm always right.
All right, folks. So let us know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Big ballin'. Yeah.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands